Majemite and Uwawa were two lovebirds. They were engaged to be married, and both families had already given their permission. They were only waiting for Majemite to conclude his NYSC program so that they could both get married. His place of primary assignment was very close to his village, so every weekend he came home to spend time with his fiancee, Uwawa. One particular weekend, he came back home, and a few days to when he would be going back, Uwawa's mother fried some goat meat and sent to Majemite. "Take this to your fiancé quickly. He will be going back tomorrow. Tell him to make sure he keeps it properly away from cockroaches and rats so it can last him all throughout the week. And please greet Mama Majemite for me, okay? Hurry up and come back before it is late," Uwawa's mother told her daughter. When Uwawa got to Majemite's house, she was about to leave, but he pleaded with her and managed to convince her to spend the night at his place. "Don't go now. You have never spent a night here with me before. After all, we'll be getting married soon. Spend the night with me. I'm sure your mother will understand." At first, Uwawa was reluctant, but Majemite was able to convince her, and she stayed the night at his place. Uwawa's mother was so angry with her when she got home the next morning. Uwawa, since when? I sent you to take simple meat to your fiancé and you decided to sleep over there." Uwawa pleaded with her mother and lied that it was a Majemite's sister who fell sick and she decided to stay back to take care of her, that their mother wasn't around. "It's alright, my daughter, if you say so. After all, she's going to be your sister-in-law. Go inside and freshen up." Majemite later went back to his place of primary assignment. On his way, he met a very beautiful lady in the bus and they got talking. He got to find out that the girl was also from their village and was the daughter of one of their rich chiefs. She had just come back from the States and came to visit her grandmother in the village and was going back to the city. Majemite saw this as a wonderful opportunity, especially since she told him she was single and that her family had been pestering her to get married. As soon as they got down from the bus, Majemite quickly collected her number, and just a week later, he located her house in the city, and before you knew it, they started a beautiful relationship. Everything seemed to be going smoothly for him, and he completely forgot about Uwawa in the village in just a very short time. Not long later, Uwawa fell sick, and her mother kept on asking her, "Uwawa, my daughter, this your sickness you claim to be malaria, with pregnancy written all over you. Are you sure you are not pregnant? How can you be so careless? How can you be so loose, Uwawa? Just a few months to your wedding and you are pregnant. What will people say? What will you tell your fiancé?" Her mother kept on querying her. "What do you mean, Mama? Of course you know that this pregnancy is for Majemite. Who else will I be pregnant for?" Uwawa answered her mother. "Alright, if you say so," her mother told her. "Just get up and let's go and inform Majemite's mother of your present condition so that she can quickly send for him and we can hasten the marriage rite before people in the village will begin to notice your stomach. You know the way this village is, Off they went. As soon as they got to Majemite's mother and told her that Uwawa has gotten pregnant, she was so happy. Immediately she sent for her son and he came back. Little did they know that he was coming back with a very unpleasant surprise. "So, Mama, why did you send for me because of Uwawa's pregnancy? How is that any business of mine? Did she tell you I got her pregnant? When?" How? That was Unduka's response when his mother told him about Uwawa's pregnancy. Mama, she should go and look for who got her pregnant. I know nothing about it. I only come home during weekends, and you know that I'm the one who does all the visiting. She hardly comes here. So when did I get her pregnant? Uwawa cried and cried, pleading with Majemite to tell the truth, because she knew that if she could not tell who the father of her baby was, she would be made to face the disgrace, the dance of shame, which is customary in their village for any woman who doesn't know the father of her pregnancy. She reminded him that it was the night that she brought fried meat that her mother had sent, that was the night he got her pregnant. But Majemite denied it. He told everybody that as soon as Uwawa dropped the meat, she went back home. Tell everybody where you went to. Where did you spend the night? Who did you sleep with, Uwawa? You went back home that night. Majemite kept on accusing Uwa. She cried and cried. And then she had to face the dance of shame, where she danced naked in the village square, with all the women in the village holding broom and sweeping out the bad luck that she had brought upon them. It was so disgraceful. Uwawa cried. After the dance, she couldn't bear the shame, so she packed her bags and left the village for the city. As luck will have it, she had a bouncing baby boy and got a job in a primary school where her son was schooling. And there she continued to live a quiet life in the city. Few years later, Majemite got married to Abigail, the girl he had met in the bus. And as luck will have it, Uwawa was also blessed with a handsome young man who loved her son like he was his. And a few months into the marriage, Uwawa became pregnant, and God blessed her with a bouncing baby boy. Another 2 years into the marriage, she got pregnant and had another beautiful baby girl. Uwawa was fulfilled. But on the other hand, Majemite and Abigail weren't finding it funny, because even 12 years after their marriage, Abigail had not conceived for 1 day, let alone have a miscarriage or even a child. They kept on going from one hospital to another, seeking medical attention. And everywhere they went, they would tell them that Majemite and Abigail had no medical condition, that they should continue to wait on God, that they will get pregnant. It was a terrible period for Abigail. She kept on crying. They kept on going from one hospital to another, from one hospital to another. And it was still the same story, that they were perfectly all right. They decided to travel abroad to seek medical attention, and it was still the same old story. All their tests came out positive. They were all fine. But yet, the baby was just not coming. Abigail was frustrated. One of the doctors eventually told them to seek spiritual help. That was when they began to go to churches for prayers. They went from one church to another. And in one of the churches, they went for private counseling with the pastor. It was during the personal prayer session that the pastor revealed to them that Majemite had offended a pregnant woman back in the village, and that if they were ever going to give birth to any child in this life, Majemite has to go back to plead with that woman. He denied ever offending anybody in the village, and they left the pastor's place. But when they got home, Abigail knelt down and begged him, crying for him to please have mercy on her. It was then he owned up and told her that there was a girl he was supposed to marry before her, and that he denied her pregnancy. Then he decided to go back to the village to look for her. When he got to the village, he met her mother, but she was too angry to listen to him, and she sent him away. He had to go bring the women leader in the village to come and plead on his behalf. After a while, Uwawa's mother forgave him and told him where he could find Uwawa in the city. But out of fear, he couldn't go straight to Uwawa and went to her husband's office to discuss with him to help him plead and to grant him access to his wife. But out of anger, Uwawa's husband sent him out of his office. Once again, Abigail had to locate the office and went to Uwawa's husband, pleading and crying with him to have mercy. Afterwards, he agreed to listen to Majemite and told him, "I don't know how easy this will be, but I will try to talk to my wife so she could listen to you and forgive you." When he got home and he told Uwawa that he had met Majemite, she was angry and wouldn't listen to anything concerning Majemite. But then her husband invited only Majemite's wife Abigail. And when Uwawa saw her, a helpless woman, suffering for what she knew nothing about, Uwawa decided to set up a meeting with her and Majemite where they could resolve the whole issue peaceably once and for all. And when they met, Majemite pleaded and cried, begged Uwawa for forgiveness, and because of her good heart, she forgave him. Then they made him meet his son, Johnson. It was a very emotional moment for Majemite, meeting his son after 13 years. He cried and hugged his son happily, and they went back home. 3 months after that meeting, Abigail got pregnant and gave birth to a bouncing baby boy for Majemite, her husband. It was a happy ending for every one of them. But Majemite learnt his lesson the hard way. The end.